What is the real meaning of Jordan Peele's film Us? Jordan Peele's 2019 film Us is really about the argument of nature versus nurture. Since the beginning of modern psychology in the late 19th century, a central argument within the study has been around the influence of nature and nurture on human behaviour. The nature argument basically says that the main influence of behaviour comes from genetics that make up a person. Simple versions of this concept might say that if someone is shy or open or kind or aggressive, the main reason for this is in their DNA. People are born with a certain personality and little can be done to change this. The nurture argument believes that the main influence of behaviour comes from the environment in which someone is raised. Wealth or poverty, being raised in a mansion or a shack, eating vegetables or meat, experiencing trauma or love. The nurture camp believed these influences had far more impact on a person's behaviour and personality. You could think of these two as internal versus external influences, and of course there are far more nuances to each of these structures. It should also be noted that in modern psychology, the consensus is that both nature and nurture play complex and differing roles in manifestations of behaviour. In Jordan Peele's Us, this argument is used to force the audience to think about the differences between the two groups, the regular people versus their underground clones. The clones are considered evil and are described as a failed attempt at creating copies as they have no soul. This is the representation of the nature argument. Your DNA determines how you act. The problem with this concept occurs when the twist at the end of the film is revealed. As the main character Adelaide is revealed to have been switched with her clone Red, the audience then realizes that the loving mother was a clone all along, and the psychopath with nonsensical dreams of USA domination was really the regular person. If this is the case, then it is the nurture argument that makes more sense. It is your upbringing that determines who you become. Jordan Peele seems to be siding with the nurture argument. An ostensibly soulless girl makes her escape from the underground hell by switching places with her doppelganger. Originally, she is mute like the rest of those from the underground, but with therapy she learns how to speak and socialize, she finds love and has a family. On the other hand, a girl who grew up with parents around becomes a broken and depraved shadow of a human, hell-bent on revenge and mass death when she's raised in the underground. Without getting too political, you can imagine that racial bigotry piggybacked on the nature argument, associating particular trends in racial behaviours with the DNA of certain groups. Throughout the 19th century, the study of phrenology involved measuring the dimensions of the brain and then making conclusions about intelligence based on this. Certain ethnic groups that the researchers already believed were more ignorant than they were found to have smaller brains and were therefore naturally more primitive. It should be noted that as colonizers throughout history found more primitive cultures, this same belief was held. British settlers believed this of Aboriginals in Australia in the 18th century, and the Romans believed this of the Celts in Britain in the 1st century.